experimenting on borderline of recreational using drugs, cocaine, ecstasy, marijuana, alcohol, pretty much anything I get my hands on. There's really not a reason why I started, aside from the fact that it was what all the cool kids were doing and I was under a lot of stress and emotional pain from my grandfather's death. Me and my grandfather did everything together. We were really close. Everywhere he went, I went, and when he died, it was just like I lost a big part of my life, and I figured I would replace it with drugs. I went to rehab summer after 10th grade. I was there for 7 days. I got out, first night out, was using cocaine again. From the time I woke up in the morning, before I got out of bed, I probably sniffed about 1 gram of cocaine. And then I got dressed, took a shower, sniffed another gram of cocaine. I came to BOCES for my career activity, which was culinary arts last year. And usually I'd probably do about 1 gram to 1.5 grams of cocaine in the bathroom during that 2-hour period. After that, I never ever made it back to my home school all of 11th grade year. I would always go with friends and do drugs all day. I'd go home at, let's say, like 8 o'clock at night on a school night and do drugs in my room by myself, and eventually run out of drugs or have just enough for the next morning. And then sit up in bed all night with my heart racing and coming down from a cocaine high, and eventually at like 4 or 5 in the morning passing out. I stole a lot of money from my parents. I took their ATM cards, I figured out their passwords for that. I wrote checks from my mom's checkbook out to cash and went to the bank and cashed them with her name signed on the bottom. I took their weekly paychecks and cashed them. I did so many different things that, like, I hurt so bad when I realized all the things that I did to my parents and how bad I was that, like, I really didn't even think I deserved to live anymore. We'd come home stoned, completely stoned, and I would just go to my parents and be like, "Mom, drug test me. Dad, drug test me." I wasn't enough of a man to sit there and say, "I have a problem, I need to go away." First, my parents were in denial, and they were, they didn't really think that I had a serious problem. And when they realized that, like, I weighed 100 pounds and I was a 16-year-old boy, and an average 16-year-old boy doesn't weigh 100 pounds, and I wasn't eating, I was never home, nights I was sleeping on the street, like, I think that they finally realized that I needed to be drug tested, I needed to be helped. I got sent away to the Karen Foundation in Warnersville, Pennsylvania, and at first I was only supposed to do 30 days there, and when my therapist there realized that I was more serious than anyone had thought, I got told that I would have to stay for another 90 days. It's like a family there. It's not like people telling you what to do. It's not like all clinical. It's all like they try to bring all the kids together as a family and help you with different ways to cope with the feelings of wanting to use drugs. But they also prepared you for life back at home. And what I've been through over the past 4 or 5 years, I can't pick up that drug or that drink because I know exactly where it's going to lead me. It's going to lead me to spending money that I don't have. It's going to make me living on the street, living in parks, sleeping at train stations, which is all stuff I don't want right now. If my parents hadn't listened to me and hadn't sent me away, and even though I wanted to come home after the first 30 days of being at Karen, I know that they're the reason that I'm alive right now, because if they had let me come home, honestly, I would have been back out using drugs, and I probably would not be sitting here today talking to you, because I know for a fact I'd be dead. My addiction was so bad, and they're the only people that, like, I can thank for, sending me away enough times where I actually got it and helping me out through thick and thin. No matter what, they're always by my side and they'll always love me. I know actually a few of the kids that I thought were, quote, cool in grammar school are actually in the same position as me, except they're not doing quite as well as I am. They got sent away a couple times to rehab, they keep coming out, they keep using drugs. The cool kids aren't always right, and they don't, in the future, they're not going to be the cool ones when they're living on the street in a cardboard box trying to get change to shoot heroin or smoke crack or something like that. Taking that ride is really not worth it. It wasn't worth the money, it wasn't worth the time, it wasn't worth the amount of pain I went through. It's really not worth going through using drugs every day. It's just a stupid thing to do. Having lived through it, I know that. And take it from me, I know for a fact you will not feel any better about any problems that are going on in your life if you use drugs, because once the high goes away, the problems just come right back.